At one point in everyone's life, you will deal with grief. It may not be the best feeling in the world, but it is completely out of our control. When I was 4 years old, my father passed away. It's been 10 years since the tragedy, but I'm still grieving. At points in my life, I dealt with my grief in a very unhealthy manner. It has affected my mental health for sure, but many people don't realize that it can affect your physical health as well. It is well known that everyone deals with grief in their own manner, but everyone goes through the same 5 stages, but how you react to them is up to you. The 5 stages of grief are as follows. Number 1 is denial. When you lose a loved one, you don't want to believe that it is true. Denial is used as a defense mechanism. We want to have hope because where there is hope, there is life, as once wisely said by Roman philosopher Marcus Tullius Cicero. The second stage of grief is anger. When I lost my father, I remember not feeling that much sadness, but mostly anger. We feel this anger due to the fact that we don't completely understand why someone we love so much was taken away from us at such an unexpected time and so early. We blame ourselves and fill ourselves with anger and end up taking it out on inanimate objects or even our loved ones. The third step of grief is bargaining. Our brain's natural response to feeling of helplessness is telling ourselves that maybe if we had done something different, that person could still be with us. Guilt usually comes with bargain. We believe that we could have changed, even though that's completely out of our hands. The fourth step is depression. There is 2 types of depression that come with grief. The first type of depression is the initial reaction to the loss. Regret dominates this type of depression. Wishing you could have spent more time with the loved one before they passed away. The second type of depression, it is us coming to the realization that we will never see that loved one again. Sometimes all that we need during this time is human contact. Step 5 is acceptance. A lot of people are not lucky enough to see this step. Some don't even make it past denial and anger. In the final step of grief, we encounter peace. This does not mean we found happiness, but we are calm. We finally understand what happened, and that is not our fault, and accept that death is part of life. So now we will go over emotional health, or how grief affects our emotional health. Everyone feels sad when losing a loved one. This is a normal thing to feel. The only time it is not okay is when we let it get out of hand and fall into a bit of depression. Grief can change the way you act as well. When talking to someone who is currently in process of mourning, you may notice that they're easily agitated and always seem to be on edge. This does not mean that that person has something against you. It just means that that person needs space and needs space at a time like this. The best you can do at times like this is just leave that person alone, but reassure them that you'll be there for them. They need you. And now we'll go over how grief can affect your physical health. A lot of people don't think that things such as grief can affect your physical health as much as it actually does. One of the many ways it can affect it is by not having enough sleep. Insomnia is a very common trait in people who have recently lost a loved one. Some people who have lost a spouse find it hard sleeping due to the fact that they used to share that bed with their spouse. Loss of sleep usually occurs during the bargaining stage of grief. Our brains keep us throughout the night asking ourselves thoughts such as what if and if only. Another way grief can affect your physical health is by either eating too much or not at all. This step varies on the person. I personally ate for like a block for a couple of days and then would not touch food for like a week. This is more commonly known as bulimia nervosa. Bulimia nervosa is a very common eating disorder in the United States. For someone who has recently lost a loved one, bulimia can become a coping mechanism to fill yourself up and become numb to the pain you're experiencing. And all in all, grief is a very painful and hard time that most of us will experience. The way that we cope with grief is unique to each other, but how we cope matters because we don't want to cope with it in an unhealthy manner. Think of your physical and mental health before making a rash decision. That is all.